guys, coming live here from my bathtub because that's my only whiteboard in the house right now. Actually, no, I took one from the school, but it's really small. So we're going to try and pretend that this is our new classroom. This way. All right, so we're going to review perimeter here. This way. Okay, so remember perimeter is the outside of an object. So if I have a rectangle here, just a reminder that perimeter is the measurement of the whole outside of the shape. So we need to find out what the lengths at the sides are, and sometimes you have to measure them, and sometimes those lengths are given. So in this case, we're going to pretend that the width is 2 centimeters and the length is 6 centimeters. Okay, and remember, you can use a formula to solve perimeter. So P equals length plus width plus length plus width, or P equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Yeah, so now let's plug in those numbers. So I want you to take a second on a piece of paper, or if you have a whiteboard or a page protector that you can use a whiteboard marker with, I want you to solve this with me. So let's plug in those numbers. P equals 2 times the length. Here's our length. So we're going to plug in 6 centimeters there. Plus the width. We've got 2 times 2 centimeters. Okay. Take a second and solve that, or pause the video and solve it. Okay. So we plug those numbers in. 2 times 6, 12 centimeters. Plus 2 times 2 is 4 centimeters. And we add those numbers up. 12 plus 4 is 16 centimeters. Okay, so you should have got the perimeter of this rectangle is 16 centimeters. Okay, if you want, you can do a couple more examples using the same thing, just change these numbers and plug them into your formula. But we've done quite a bit of perimeter now, so this should be review. So that's perimeter. Now we're going to review area. Dear, I'm going to really have to scrub this off after. All right. Area. Okay. Formula for area, which we know is area equals, right, length times width. I personally like area better than perimeter, but yeah, it's just length times width is easier to remember. But so if we have our shape, okay, again, sometimes you'll be given the length, sometimes you'll be given the width, and sometimes you'll be just given the square units of measurement. So in this case, pretend those squares are even. And remember, area is the total measurement inside an object. So we could count all those squares up, or we can look at the length is 4 centimeters and the width is 3 centimeters. So if we do our formula, length times width, area equals 4 centimeters times 3 centimeters. What's our area going to be? Good job, 12 centimeters. And we can check that by counting the squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now we're missing something when we're using area and we're measuring in 1 square unit. We have to make sure we put our answer in 12 centimeters squared. Okay? Because that's the unit of measurement here. And this is a 2D object. And that's going to make more sense when we're doing our next topic, volume, which we're going to be taking the measurement of 3-dimensional objects, and we're going to be putting our answers in cubic measurements. So in this case, our answer is area equals 12 centimeters squared. Okay, let's try one more example of area. Formula is going to stay. Area equals length times width. So say I gave you another rectangle. The width is 2 centimeters and the length is 11 centimeters. Okay, so you're going to go area equals length times width. Plug in those numbers. Get to stretch out my legs because I'm in my bathtub. 11 centimeters times 2 centimeters. Okay, remember anything times 11 is the same number doubled, so 11 times 2 centimeters is, I choose you. Yeah, good job, 22 centimeters squared. Okay, so that's a nice review of area. Now I'm going to get into volume, which the formula, I'll just show you. We're going to get into volume, which I really wish we were in the classroom for because it's a little bit harder, but I'm going to do my best to teach you online. So the formula for volume is length times width times height. Okay, so you're taking the unit of a three-dimensional object and you're measuring its length, width, and then height, which I'm going to show you more examples on the computer of because I'm not very good at drawing three-dimensional objects. But yeah, so that was a review of area and perimeter, and now we're going to get into volume, which is length times width times height. So I'd love if you watched the next video on volume. Thank you.